Hey, it's Molly. Welcome back as we take a look at the Aquarius new moon occurring on January 29th, 2025 at 7:35 a.m. That's Eastern Time, so be sure and adjust for your location on the planet. The Aquarius new moon is occurring at 9 degrees of Aquarius, 51 minutes, so we round up to 10 degrees of Aquarius in your chart, where the sun and the moon are conjunct as they are once a month, beginning a new cycle together. This Aquarius new moon is highlighting what you're ready to begin in the Aquarius areas of your chart. And you'll notice here that we also have Mercury moving away from exact conjunction to Pluto. So this first decan of Aquarius is heavily loaded as Aquarius season begins. So the new moon is bringing your attention to what is getting your energy excited. Where are you feeling a new potential, a new vision, a new idea emerge that you want to pursue? This is also the energy of listening to what is correct for your authentic frequency. Aquarius will connect us to more of how we are unique and different, how that is an important contribution to the whole, and for you to really own what is calling to your energy now. I feel this new moon is an important starting energy that sets the stage for the new paradigms we're moving into collectively. But then at a personal level, you could have some realizations here around the areas of your life you want to change and approach differently. That could be part of how you're sensing or feeling Mercury conjunct Pluto, as this Plutonic energy is changing the mercurial thought processes. It could even shatter previous limitations or expectations in order to birth open new ways of seeing your reality. There's a lot of dynamic changes happening here in the Aquarius areas of our charts, and we're meant to stay above the horizon, to see the bigger picture, and to align our energy with where we're going, with what you want to direct your energy towards, similar to connecting your current timeline to a future timeline, almost like roping it in and then realizing they're overlapping timelines that are coexisting. So we are calling in those potential timelines now, and they change us, they shift us, and they require us to go higher in our consciousness and in our perceptions. Now, this Mercury is traveling behind the sun and the moon. Mercury is going to move across the sun and the moon here and bring those ideas or those insights that happened during the Mercury-Pluto conjunction. Bring those to more of your conscious awareness and your emotional awareness. So keep in mind that after this new moon is exact, Mercury will come forward here and give you some more messages, some more understandings a few days after the new moon energy. So it's almost like something gets started and it gets more energy put into it. It moves forward as more pieces and understanding arrive. So I feel that this Mercury is important here in this particular new moon. Now, also around the time of this new moon, we're going to have Uranus stationing direct at 23 degrees of Taurus. The station direct is exact on January 30th, and it adds more buzziness to the collective field. Uranus is quite electrifying, shocking, awakening, liberations. It's the energy of fast-moving change. And this Uranus in Taurus has been requiring us to adapt to changes rather quickly, which can be difficult because that Taurus energy prefers to take its time, move slowly, and not be rushed. But Uranus is saying, we ain't got time for that. We got to move, we got to hustle, we got to get things going. So I feel that with this Uranus stationing direct, January 30th, that happens at 11:22 a.m. Eastern Time, it's within the time frame of all of this Uranus, this Aquarius energy that's ruled by Uranus, also coming to the forefront. So we have a lot going on that can be shocking and very excitable. There can be the energy of strong, unpredictable changes, like whiplash, like what just happened? What's going on? How did that transpire? It's an activation of faster movements here in the earth. So Gaia is certainly feeling these shifts and changes through movements of the earth, volcanic activity, new shifts in the tectonic plates, all of that. And then here in the Aquarius air sign energy, it's electrifying our consciousness with new possibilities, new understandings, and also supporting us in up-leveling what we need to know. When I see a strong Aquarian energy signature such as this, I feel like it's activating our deeper soul knowingness around what we need to move towards, what we need to create next, what is the right course of action to follow or pursue. And we sense that mentally, but this also is expanding the third eye chakra. It's expanding the third eye, and I'm seeing it become more of that panoramic viewpoint. So it's a panoramic view of what you didn't see before that could finally connect and give you some truth, inspiration, creative urges that move fast, that move quickly. There is a quickening here with this new moon, an acceleration of energies. This is also the Lunar New Year, which will bring in the energy of the snake, the year of the wood snake. The wood snake has been associated with the energy of Taurus for being patient, steadfast, aware, very keen eyesight, also transformative, evolutionary. We are moving through a shedding of skin, a shedding of previous selves, previous realities. We are moving into a higher awareness of ourselves individually and where human potential can go. We're also opening up. I'm getting the visual. It's interesting. I was going to say Kundalini rising energies, but I'm seeing it happening in multiple places of the body, including the spine, but also I'm seeing it in the third eye chakra, like that Kundalini rising of higher consciousness that starts there in the third eye, and it goes up into the higher chakras, like up into the 11th, the 16th, the 22nd chakra. It's like it keeps going. So I'm feeling this as part of the electrifying waves here of this new moon. And then the sun and the moon at this 9 degrees, 51 minutes of Aquarius are trining Jupiter, moving slowly at 11 degrees of Gemini as Jupiter prepares to station direct February 3rd and 4th after a 4-month retrograde journey in Gemini, reconsidering the story, plot twist, new information. The narrative changes as this Jupiter moves slowly. Stations direct in Gemini, course corrections. New information arises that was previously overlooked. Gemini is a fast-moving energy typically. Jupiter is known for being in its detriment in Gemini simply because the Jupiter energy wants to expand and grow what the Gemini energy wants details on and specific knowledge about. And so Jupiter can be almost careless in Gemini, where there's a lack of seeing some bits of information, some parts of the story, some element of truth. So I feel that there's going to be more important information that arises here. And it's certainly a part of this Aquarius new moon signature with the trine there. But also as we move into February and this Jupiter stations direct and moves forward, there's going to be important parts of a story, of your story, of a narrative coming to light that maybe was forgotten, overlooked, scattered about, or misplaced. There's also a busyness here. Now with Jupiter moving slowly though, we're meant to slow it down and think it through. Don't be fast to assumptions. And that would be one of the lower expressions of this Jupiter in Gemini, where think about the energy of gossip or very low vibe conversation. It catches its own fire, right? It just starts to become more than it is. And then when that bubble pops, you realize that wasn't true. There was nothing real about that. It's just what one person said, or it's just what someone assumed without having all the information. So there's going to be assumptions here that are challenged. There are going to be bubbles that burst around information. There's going to be more questioning of the truth, of a truth, of what is really being said. It's almost like, well, what do you mean by that? Or what do you mean when you say that? Jupiter in Gemini is at its highest designed to help us become better communicators, asking important questions, clarifying information, verifying facts. Similar to you read a story and you want to see, well, what's the source? You would want to go to the primary source, not the secondary or third source. It's almost like a bad game of telephone here that gets corrected, or the information is challenged, or again, you go to the primary source. How do you know that? Are you sure you know that? What are you referencing? And the better we are at asking those questions, the more we get to the truth of a situation, an experience, a story, whatever the case may be. And so this energy is working favorably with the new moon. And it means too that information is going to be moving and flowing. You could have some highly inspired ideas here that you want to move towards. And Jupiter, even though Jupiter's retrograde, Jupiter's moving slowly and is going to assist and pull in through Gemini support for whatever this may be. And keep in mind, the sun is moving forward, of course, and so the sun will actually have an exact trine to Jupiter about a day and a half after this new moon. So January 31st, when the sun is at 11 degrees of Aquarius, it will trine Jupiter. And again, that can help with taking those ideas forward and, really going for something. And again, it's something that's meant to change us. It's meant to change what we think about, what we focus on. It's meant to elevate us, to see a bigger dream, a bigger picture, and to help us move forward into that reality. Now, the other big energy we have in the chart, as you can see, is this growing stellium in Pisces. And this is some of the most important energy of the year. Now, Saturn is approaching the conjunctions here. Saturn is at 17 degrees of Pisces, and is moving forward, still in retrograde shadow territory though. But you can see how this Venus is in conjunction to Neptune and the North Node in Pisces. And here comes Venus, exalted in Pisces, entering into life-changing developments as she interacts with Neptune and the North Node. Now, keep in mind, Venus is going to have a retrograde journey starting March 1st. She gets to 10 degrees of Aries, stations retrograde, and she's going to return back to 24 degrees of Pisces. So during this new moon, she's in her retrograde territory. So keep in mind that this part of your chart where you have the strong Pisces lineup here and the late degrees of Pisces, towards the very end of the astrological wheel, is a very important ending point where you're clearing out deep karma, soul contracts, energies that maybe you weren't even aware you were holding, feeling, or experiencing. And Venus comes through, and she's going to be flooded with awareness by this Neptune. Neptune is very important here because Neptune is in the ruling sign of Pisces. And so Neptune rules this whole stellium in Pisces, and Neptune is working with this North Node of higher enlightenment, moving up into greater compassion, unconditional love, acceptance, closures, letting go. There are many energies on the planet permanently leaving during this dance in the late degrees of Pisces. Energies that have been powerful on the planet, influential, energies that have affected us. This energy of Pisces shows what we have idealized, how we've applied it to other people, other areas of our lives, to the effect of our own powerlessness, where we've bought into certain stories, where we've had blind faith, where we thought others were more powerful. And this is clearing out what is not real, the spells, the illusions, what has been really unclear. And this is important to understand because in 2 months, this Neptune enters Aries for the first time in nearly 165 years. This is a big deal. So in the next 2 months especially, there's going to be a lot leaving on the planet, moving through the Pisces realms, clearing out. This can be big water movements because Pisces rules the ocean. This can be seen with flooding, hurricanes, tsunamis, typhoons, any movements of the ocean. But I feel that it's actually an emotional energy we're going to be feeling and sensing around endings and what is clearing out. The North Node says it's time. This is fated developments, clearings that we're meant to experience in order to move into the new. And the North Node is signaling that it's aligning with our emotional bodies in some manner to have a changeover, to allow the transitions to occur. Almost like, hot air balloons that don't have enough air to get off the ground. It's like there's more things here that we're questioning, we're asking about. We want to understand, is this real or not? So deception comes up. What has been hidden behind the curtain can be revealed. This energy is very significant here, and it does relate directly to our rising consciousness, to information. Aquarius is the information that is readily available, scientific information, databases, articles, journals, medical studies. It shows us, these are the facts, or these are the experiments from the labs. This is what is coming to the forefront. That's certainly part of this Mercury conjunct Pluto, where what was hidden or information that we just couldn't find is meant to be revealed. So that's part of what is going to be serving humanity in the long run, is that we're meant to understand what's real and what's not real, and to trust our intuition, to trust our spiritual path, to trust what we're feeling and allow the bigger energies to guide us, because they're moving us into new beginnings that will slowly emerge this year in 2026. It's interesting because Saturn and Neptune move slowly. And so there can be, it's almost like pain in the slowness. There can be a sense of, can we just move through this? Can we just transition away from this? But there's meant to be energies we understand and connect with. There's meant to be things that we really understand so that we don't repeat it. And of course, we can only do that at a personal level. It's the personal energy that affects the collective energy. So the slowness here is a gift, even if there's a lot of discomfort. We're meant to sit and contemplate, understand, think it through, feel into things, and then be ready for the new that will slowly be arriving as Neptune and Saturn move into Aries this year and into 2026. I am doing live workshops on this part of your chart, more of the deeper meaning of what it means to have North Node, Neptune, Venus, and Saturn in the late degrees of Pisces, and working with the early degrees of Aries. Then we'll also have Mercury in the mix. Mercury will also be here. So we have 5 planets dancing here at the end of the zodiac wheel, and then preparing you for a new start that really takes hold in 2026. So just know that this is a destined change that is shifting the earth, that is shifting our energies on the planet. And there's things that we're not going to have verified just yet. We're not going to see. We're not going to understand. We're navigating with our intuition more than ever. And when Neptune gets to 28 degrees of Pisces, right after this new moon, February 1st, Venus will also be there. There's going to be an exact conjunction there at 28 degrees of Pisces. Now keep in mind, this can be incredibly creative. Like, you just get these amazing downloads and insights. You get fresh inspiration. You have an understanding or a solution that just arrives. This is some big messages from the higher self, big messages that come in to support you in where you go next. And so this can also be experienced as something you've been waiting for through divine timing, with that Venus, Neptune, North Node conjunction all at 28 degrees of Pisces. This is bringing in divine feminine energies, divine feminine within all of us, and the divine feminine energies that elevate us and lift us up in order to move forward, to close out a chapter, to let something go, so that you can move into a new creation journey, a new process of what you want next in your life. And at this time, Mars is still retrograde here in Cancer. And before the new moon, Mars was in trine here to Venus, still in a wide trine, still in a trine to the planets in Pisces and Saturn. And this Mars is showing us what we want to do differently, what did not work in the past, and where you might still have lingering emotions around it, anger, frustration, anything repressed that you're working through personally or internally. Mars will continue back to 17 degrees of Cancer until February 23rd. So he's actually moving slower as we move into February, but he's interacting nicely here with these planets in Pisces that are showing him what to let go of, because he's outgrowing it. He's outgrowing it at a soul level. And that would be another way to understand all of this in Pisces, is that your soul is directing you to clear out and complete certain chapters that maybe you've had for lifetimes, that have become these comfort zones, or these areas of your world that you've just always gone to, you've turned to. And now it's time to become more aware of them, clear them out, and allow the power of this new moon and of these strong Aquarius energies to shift the trajectory of where you go next for your best and highest good. I'm feeling that some people are going to have some awesome activations here, some great inspiration, and that you might feel that this Aquarius new moon is more of your new year starting point. Again, it syncs up with that lunar new year energy, but this has more movement than previously in January, on January 1st. This has more movement. So I hope this assists or helps you understand anything you might be experiencing in your life, in your world. And I hope too that this brings in some beautiful gifts for you. I mean, trining Jupiter is always beneficial, especially around travel and communications and ideas, things that you want to do this year. It might start to get stronger, and you might really be able to visualize it more with this new moon. So please check out my 2 live astrology workshops coming up on February 7th. If you would like to join me, there's pre-recorded content in there too. So as soon as you log in, you've got information to work with and to get up to speed with more of the energies here in Pisces. Thank you so much for joining me. Wishing you a beautiful journey here through the last days of January, and I hope this Aquarius new moon gifts you with some really incredible insights. Thank you for your likes, your comments, and your shares. I'll be back here soon.